Hello and welcome back to Bamboo Labs and of course Software Inc. Now we're starting today in the build screen with our brightness turned up because I want to do something pretty major today. I want to get started on our first operating system. So easiest way to do this is we need to make more space for our team. And the way that I've designed this office in particular is so that I can just copy everything excluding this, because this is where our air conditioners and helipad are, and we don't actually need more room over here just yet. We can copy everything else just by right-clicking anywhere in our building, select building floor, then shift-clicking the part that we don't need, Control-C, E to go up a level, and lining this up and placing it down. Bam. We have a second story. Now, obviously, this is going to be a little bit wonky in some areas. For instance, we don't need that door. We also don't need the reception area, so we can actually just delete that entirely along with the door for that. And that gives us a little bit more of a unique structure to our building, right? We also don't need that door, and that should be fine. I also don't know why these aren't quite right. Let's have a look. So that's the bathrooms, and yeah, all the bathrooms. So I'm going to quickly go through and change these back to what they should be. They should be Bamboo Labs bathrooms, I believe. If we do that, yep, it gets rid of it. So I'm going to go through and select all of these, and we'll be back in a second. All right, that is a little bit better. I mean, our roof isn't pretty, I'll give you that, but it is what it is. And you know what might be decent over here is we could potentially put some solar panels and stuff out on that roof and potentially even out on this roof. That doorway is no longer required, and we can potentially also go ahead and drag this wall in because that is also no longer necessary. So that is our building finished. If we could unselect that room, please. And it's a bit flat, it's a bit boring, but it's gonna do the job for now. The main thing is that we now have all of this space to work with. If we turn on our labels and go down, all of these rooms bar this one are full. So that is fantastic. We have a bunch of brand new offices. The only thing that we need to make sure we do is go ahead and link up these stairs. So if we go ahead and copy that and rotate that around so that it faces roughly that way, that should work out nicely. We can move this plant into its little home here, and that is good to go. Everything should be nice and connected and working. So we can jump out of build mode, and then we need to get started on our operating system. Now, the way that I want to start this is probably not on a project management. I would like to get an advertiser for this, just so that we can make sure it is successful on its first run. I don't trust our marketing team to be able to handle this just yet. So, in saying that, let's go ahead. It is the start of a brand new day, December 1999. I don't think anything major is going to unlock that's going to change our decisions in January, but you never know. So we are going to go ahead and develop software. Now, I forgot to prepare for this and I did not come up with a name. But you know what? This is Bamboo Labs. So let's call our operating system Bamboo Labs. Makes sense to me. We're going to go for operating system on computer because superior things. The SCM will be the SCM. We're going to use a brand new framework. This will be Bamboo Labs Frame. Same as all our others. Keep that nice and simple. Dependencies are going to have none. We don't need to release this on any OSs because it is an OS in of itself. Go ahead and analyze the market, see what they would like. So we don't really care about simplicity. We're looking for mainly security and customization. So anything that gives me those things, we're going to throw in there. That wasn't a lot. That'll do. Simplicity, no. Customization, yes. Customization, we're getting pretty close already. That is 2 stars. I don't really want to do that yet. Is there anything that gives me like the tiniest bit more customization? That does, but it adds quite a lot of time. That also does, it adds audio, which, yeah, I mean, we could do, but this is probably decent as is. We've got 97% expected interest. Of course, we can auto balance that out to get only 11% in wasted. That's not bad. The problem is this is recommending, let's deselect all of our teams because we don't have a team for this just yet. This is suggesting 9 designers, 16 programmers, and 1 artist. Honestly, better than I was expecting. It is, however, going to take us approximately 4 years, which is a damn long time. But that is fine. We also do have a need for system code, 2D code, 3D code, audio code, and network code. If we go back to here, can we just like take these off? No, we cannot. They are locked in, unfortunately. So about 4 years, we have no speed boost because we don't have a SQL or a framework in place yet. But I think this is going to be good. The only thing we need to do is grab ourselves a publisher. These guys are going to be 5 years, 11 months, but these guys here, SideUp Interactive, do have a little bit of market recognition in that space. So I think we'll stick it out and do 4 years, 11 months at 19.5%, down to 14.6 after they recoup 3.6 times their money. SideUp, thank you. Yes, I would like to do that. And we're going to hit develop here. Yes, I know I don't have a team for that yet. That is fine. Now we can go in and hire our employees. So we're definitely going to need a lead. I would like them to be able to do something else. We're going to go for, actually, what do we need more of here? We need more programmers than anything else. So if you can program on the side, that would be fantastic. We'll filter by compatibility with any of our teams, and specialization, we are going to want automation for sure, HR for sure. And then it would be nice to have socialization, but we don't really mind if we don't have it. Go ahead and begin looking. We have 2 candidates, both pretty similar, although I actually prefer Sandra Dean here just because she has a little bit more useful programming skill. So Sandra Dean, you are officially hired to our OS team. OS 1. I'm going to name this OS 1 because I believe we're going to have more than one team working on this. So Sandra Dean, you are officially hired there. And Suzanne Wheeler, you know what? We can actually go ahead and hire you straight away too and throw you into a different team that I forgot to create. So this is going to be OS 2. We'll go ahead and look at our employees here. Suzanne Wheeler, you are going to change teams to OS 2, and that should be good. Now we can go ahead and set these guys up. So I would actually like these guys on opposite schedules. So if we have a look here for our OS teams, I'm going to throw the first team in at 6 a.m. and the second team in at 3 p.m. No, we're going to reduce their hours a little bit and bring them back down so that we don't have to worry about night people. And that will be fine. And I think I'm actually going to go ahead and create a third OS team that will service our nighttime. So we'll have a look in here and drag them back to the bottom. Unfortunate that they've split up a little bit like that, but that is a-okay. Then we can go ahead and look for another lead. This person we would like to have the night owl trait. We'll go ahead and begin looking, and we get 2 with the night owl trait, which is fantastic. Both pretty good. This one can do a little bit of designing as well. So Sun Jones, you're officially hired to the OS 3 team. Go ahead and hire you, and that should be good to go. Now we just need to come into all 3 of these teams, go ahead and handle wages, complaints. Don't change the role selection, that'll be fine. Educate to level 3, 1 at a time. And we need to figure out how many people we want on our teams. So on our first team here, we are going to want... we have a limit of 16 people, right? Well, 15 in this because our leader doesn't count. I think that's correct. Count 17. Why does the Odyssey team have 17 people? And is that too many? Let me just select this room real quick. Get out of that menu. Select this room and a chair and select furniture. That is 15. So yeah, the Odyssey team might have one extra person that it just can't handle, which is a thing. Let's have a look at our employees here. Why do we have an extra person in this team? Did I accidentally hire someone that I shouldn't have? Probably. They seem to be figuring it out. I haven't had any complaints. Potentially they're using this spare office down here to deal with that. Interesting. Anyway, back to what I was saying, manage teams, OS 1. We have a limit of 15 people. So I'm thinking we have one artist, and it looks like we need almost double the amount of programmers. So if we do, I don't know, 8 programmers and 4 designers, that gives us 12, 13. Let's go for 8, 5, and 1. What's that? 8 plus 6 is 14. We can get one more person. Let's go for 9 programmers, 5 designers, 1 artist. Specializations here are going to be development, system, 2D, 3D, audio, and network, because that is what is required down here, and that should be fine. Traits, we don't really care too much. We just don't want cup holder and we don't want forgetful, and that will be fine. And I'm going to actually go for medium salaries here just because we are definitely overhiring in this position. So that'll be fine. OS2, what was that actually? 9, 5, and 1. Perfect. So we can do the exact same thing here, 9, 5, and 1. And same with the traits, system, 2D, 3D, audio, and network. No cup holder, no forgetful, and medium salary. Perfect. OS3 is going to be a little bit different. This was, what was it, 9, 5, and 1, I believe. I believe that is correct. Specializations are going to be the same. And then in our traits, we are going to still remove cup holder and forgetful, but we're going to turn on night owl because this is our night team. We're going to go for a medium salary range in there as well, and that should be all good to go. We just need to go in here, manage our roles, turn off everything, make these guys all leaders, and yeah, they can secondarily do the other 3 things, but they're not allowed to do anything else. And that should be good to go. We can now assign this to OS 1, OS 2, and OS 3, and we just need to give them a team lead. We don't have any applicable employees with design as their primary role because they have not started hiring yet. Hopefully, as we load this game in, the first team should come in at, what is it, 6 a.m. So we'll wait until 6 a.m. Hopefully they hire some employees. Looks like they already have hired some employees, so we'll go ahead and assign a lead now and see who we've got. Looks like Mona is probably our best option. She has a little bit of experience with operating systems and is between 58% and 100%. So we're going to leave that as is. You are officially assigned as the lead, and hopefully we can knock this out before November of 2004. The only last thing that we need to do is go ahead, turn on our labels, and come up here and assign them to a room. So I'm going to assign them up on this floor here. OS 1 to 3. This is going to be OS 1 to 3. This is going to be for our team lead, and that should be good to go. The only other thing we need to do is make sure all of these rooms are assigned to meeting only, not that chair. That chair is not specifically a meeting chair, and limit room usage to meetings. And did we? Yeah, we did. This is a canteen. Limit room usage to canteen. And that should be good to go. Perfect. All right, I'm going to let this run for a little bit. We'll probably have some teething issues with these project managements. In the meantime, I'll probably skip over a decent chunk of that, but I will come back if there is anything important that we need to discuss. The only other thing we need to do is set their vacations to be whenever they feel like it, and we should be good. In retrospect, I probably could have just thrown the OS team down here and they would have been fine, but I like to have a spare office. Mainly because sometimes I hire an extra employee that can't fit, so they'll jump in here and that'll be fine. Because as you can see, there are actually people working in here and they really shouldn't be. The only other thing that we should probably consider right about now is jumping back into build mode for a second, grabbing our roads and going ahead and throwing in another story of parking. I believe this is horizontal parking, but I'm not actually sure. And yeah, it looks like it is. Perfect. And then I don't actually know if we can throw in more bike racks, but yeah, looks like we can. So we'll throw in some more parking there to make everyone a little bit happier. And I might even do the same thing over here as well. Get them to go up another story. Horizontal parking. Up a story. There. And that should be more than enough bike racks to keep them out of trouble. That will make everyone just that little bit happier. We do have some cars under there, but they will disappear as soon as we start the game. So we're going to jump into a time lapse and yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, we have some new furniture that I would like to address. Looks like we've got a modern computer, a server rack, and a large product printer. So we can definitely go ahead and upgrade our printing situation down here. We select all of those and we say replace furniture with the... Nope. Looks like we're going to have to delete them instead. Jump into build mode, construct, and look for our printers. We have the large product printers. The reason that I couldn't find them is because they actually take up more room, which is a thing that I want to consider because this whole conveyor belt will actually need to move if I want to do what I want to do. So we're going to move this up by 1, which is a little bit annoying because these now don't connect. If we go to furnish and we look for, is it utility? No, distribution. We can grab ourselves another conveyor belt and throw that in there so they connect nicely. And then we can grab our large product printers, put them all the way, if I press shift, all the way along. Oops. Copy. Put them all the way along here. And the thing about large product printers, you can actually have them on both sides of the conveyor belt. So you can double the throughput on your conveyor belt and save a whole bunch of space. So in case you were curious, that is going to mean we're going to have to remove these lights because no one can actually reach them anymore. But that should significantly increase our manufacturing capacity. So we can now print 16 million copies per month, 840 boxes per month, still far less than our shipping capacity with our helipad. So we don't have to worry about that. And that'll be absolutely fantastic. The other thing we did get is the server rack. We could go ahead and upgrade all of our servers as well. I believe they'll fit in the same space. If we go to server rack, we can upgrade all of those. That will increase our capacity in our servers here. We now have a ton more capacity, which is probably a good thing because the Play server is starting to struggle. And the last thing that we can go ahead and replace is all of our computers. So we're going to select the entire building, which selects all of the floors. Shift click on our PC, select furniture types in selected rooms. That selects all of the computers in our offices, and we'll go ahead and replace them with the modern computer, which is a little bit quieter. It also requires less maintenance. So we'll go ahead and do that, spend an absolute buttload of money, and jump back into the time lapse. Just going to pause real quick because I noticed something potentially that is a problem. We jump into the leader that we hired for the OS 3 team. We look at their leader skills. They don't actually have HR ability, so they can't hire for us. And with that being said, unfortunately, they're just going to straight up get fired. They are gone, and we are going to hire a new lead instead. So same things here. We need HR to be higher. I don't know why it was lower on that list. It should be automation, then HR, then socialization. Go ahead and begin looking ideally for a night owl, and that is much better. Sammy Elliott, welcome to the OS 3 team. You are officially hired, and hopefully you'll go ahead and hire some more staff for that. The only thing we need to make sure we do is go ahead and actually set you to the leadership role. and turn off the things we don't want you doing. So now if we jump into HR management, everything is green and everything is working. We've hired almost all of our employees already, and that should work out a little bit nicer. Looks like Mona is still the best option for our lead, so that is fantastic. We do have an issue with people in our marketing teams having trouble concentrating. Did we set them for a room? Yes, we did. I believe that is just because sometimes people leave late, and sometimes we have too much traffic and we cause traffic jams with our own employees. The best way that you can go about fixing that is just sort of offset your start and finish times a little bit, and that will help out significantly. So we'll move these guys forward a little bit. They're only going to come in with the accounting team. The Odyssey team can probably move to later in the day. I think 8 p.m. is still fine. The OS team can stay where they are. S1 can go back a little bit. Tycoon can come in, and that. So now everyone should come and go at their own specific times. Not everyone is trying to come in the door at the same time. That should help out tremendously with this problem. We'll go ahead and accept that and close that and jump straight back into the time lapse. So it turns out I didn't move all of the teams appropriately that needed to be moved. The OS3 team needed to be moved over 1 square, and the Tycoon 2 team also needed to be moved over 1 square, but that problem should now be fixed. Okay, this is interesting. The Whispering Grove 2 just ran out of stock, and we are losing sales because of it. I mean, it's not generating us a ton of money, but we need to investigate why that is happening. Let's expand this out. We do have handle distribution turned on. The Whispering Grove 2 is not on the product list. That is why. So that should be fine. They should automatically now fix that problem, but keep that in mind when you are going about your business. So we can move Panda Dash back down here. It is doing absolutely fantastically. We are still buying stocks every now and then when we see them, but yeah, back to the time lapse. We have just received our first Best Designer Award with Gus Watts. Slows social need and stress in room. I really haven't been doing a whole lot with my awards. I've just been letting them stack up. They do help. It's a little bit micromanagey for me. I like to just put out the Platinum Awards and some of my first ones, but these can help with certain things. The fact that they deteriorate as years go on makes it a little bit too micromanagey for my liking, but yeah. I have been winning some awards. I'm actually not sure who Gus Watts is in charge of. Let's find out. Let's have a look at our employees and look for Gus Watts. Where are you, Gus? We have so many employees. Let's sort by name so that I can actually find him without scrolling forever. Gus Watts is on the Panda Dash team, so that is fantastic to see. If we have a look at him, what do we got? Designing skill is maxed out. We also have 93%. He's so close to being 95. So yeah, he's doing well for us right now. So that is fantastic to see. But we'll jump back into the time lapse as we are on our 3rd design iteration for Bamboo Labs. We're absolutely smashing this out. We absolutely, definitely, absolutely 100% without a question in my mind overhired for this thing. But, you know, it's fine. It's fine. You can overhire. There are diminishing rewards for hiring more people. So if this is recommending, say, 20 people are on the team and you hire 40, it's not going to go twice as fast. It will go faster. It just won't go twice as fast. So don't stress too much about overhiring, especially when you're bringing in money like it's, going out of fashion. So that's why we did that. You could definitely be a lot more organized with this. This will also help us out once we put this on our own project management and we are releasing just when it's ready rather than releasing to a deadline, because we'll be able to knock iterations out much faster than we would be able to if we didn't hire such an extensive team. So just keep that in mind. We also have our creativity of Maureen narrowed down to 78%, which is absolutely fantastic. Another inspiring creative director on the, what team are you on? I don't know. You are on, can I see this somewhere? Portfolio? Bamboo Tycoon team. There you go. And she is, absolutely fantastic at her job. She's going to serve us very, very well. We also released Bamboo Tycoon 2, which is nice to see. We'll go ahead and close this. I like to keep an eye on the latest releases just to make sure nothing is going terribly, terribly wrong. We do have outstanding quality. Creativity is only ordinary for now, but the next iteration of Bamboo Tycoon 3 will be inspiring because her creativity is above 75%. But we're going to continue on here for just a little bit. We're still having issues with people occupying offices. I believe that is because I think we just have too many employees, and there's really not a whole lot we can do about this. This doesn't last for super long. So this is the M11 team complaining, and you can see the M13 team leaves an hour before they're due to arrive, and they finish an hour before the next team is due to arrive. So there really shouldn't be any overlap there, but apparently there is. And that is a little bit unfortunate. That could also be because if we have a look at who this is and we try and find them, I believe there's a way to do that. We select them. Does it show us? Yeah. This is what I thought might be happening. This is not an office designed for anyone to be using. This is actually a problem that I had in my original softwaring series, where people are using offices they shouldn't be, and then complaining about it because they're a little bit silly. So in order to fix that, the way that you want to do that is go in and say empty office as a new team, add them as a team, and then you can go ahead and select any offices that aren't being used. And we'll do this in build mode just so that I can see a little bit better. But we'll come down here, select this one, shift click any other offices that aren't currently being used. The leader offices don't matter so much. We can leave them because they'll go in there just by themselves. Select those, right click, switch team, and choose your empty office team. Because no one's on that team, no one will be allowed to use them. If we do want to allow them to use these empty leader offices because they, for some reason, want to be alone for a little bit, we can do that. If we go to switch team, we can check this little button here which says pass through. This allows employees to pass through this room even if their team isn't allowed. So we're going to choose that just so that they can use these leader offices if they want to. But eventually we might have to turn that off if we continue getting those problems. But that should, in theory, solve that issue. There should be no one left in this room and everyone should be happy. You can tell our company is getting big because we just had 29 people go on vacation all at once. And it really doesn't affect us too much. So that is fantastic. But we're going to continue on. I think the next pause will probably be as Bamboo Labs, the operating system, goes into the beta stage of development. All right. I said I wasn't going to pause again until Bamboo Labs went into beta, but there are some things that I want to do. So firstly, Maxwell has had his creativity narrowed down to 74%, which is so close. They did somehow manage to still create an inspiring product. I'm not sure how that happened. I think as you get closer to that mark, you can potentially get some points either side of that. For instance, Panda 3, the lead designer here is only at 93%. 95 is actually the threshold to be considered visionary, but they got visionary anyway. So Clash of Claws 2, I would like to look and see if we have any potentially better lead designers, and it looks like we do. Ward Alvarez is between 73% and 100%. It would be very unlucky to have him be at 74 or 75. Or 73 or 74%. So we're going to go ahead and switch this over to Ward and see how that goes. The other thing that I am noticing is if we jump into our releases and we have a look at our marketing is keeping up decently, but I don't think they're doing the best job they possibly can, just because there are so many, products that we're currently releasing. And that is why I wanted to leave this office here blank. I would like to go ahead and hire another set of 3 marketing teams and divvy these up between the 2. I'm thinking we're probably going to have our very own dedicated marketing team just for the OS, but these ones and these ones are going to be split into 2. So we're going to go ahead and hire some marketing people. We're going to look for service, and this is going to be, we don't need automation. We do want socialization and HR. HR is more important. Multitasking is also probably a little bit more important than socialization. So we're going to hire for that first. We're going to filter by compatibility with the M12 team and begin looking. Looks like we have 2 candidates that are both absolutely fantastic. They are going to be hired. So this is going to be the M21 team. And that is going to be Augusta. And then the M22 team, it's a tongue twister, is going to be Wiley here. And then we'll go ahead and look for a 3rd employee who potentially has the night owl trait. I'm going to make sure HR is still at the top of this list and begin looking. Looks like we have 2, again, fantastic candidates. This one, neither of them have any marketing skill, but that is fine. We'll go ahead and set this up as M23. And this can be, they're both pretty much the same. We'll go for Ida. She has a little bit more leadership skill. You are officially hired. Then we can jump into our teams, go select these teams, manage roles, make them all leaders. They don't need to do that, or that. They can do a little bit of service if they want to, and set up their HR management. So budget really doesn't matter. I'm going to train them up to 3, and we are going to say we want 15 service employees on each team, which is probably going to be 45. I believe that's how that works if you have multiple teams selected. Specializations are going to be in marketing, traits, no cup holder, no forgetful, and we'll go for high salaries. M23 is the only one that gets a little bit of a different thing here, and okay, that's not how that works. We'll select all of these and change that number down to 15 so we don't accidentally hire 45 employees in each of these teams. This one is going to be traits and night owl. Done. That should be good to go. And of course, we need to make sure that we spread these guys out, change these dates a little bit, have one start at 6 a.m., one there and one there, and that should be good to go. The only other thing we need to do is fix their vacations. You guys have seen all of this before, so I'll try and speed through it as fast as we possibly can. Empty office also can have a vacation whenever they want. That'll be fine. And then we just select these 2 rooms here, switch team. This is going to be M2, M2, and M2. This is no longer going to be passed through, and the office here can be for leaders only. Turn on our labels, make sure that all worked correctly, and it did. Fantastic. And then I'm just going to switch these out based on where they are in the list. So Bamboo Odyssey, Whispering Grove, and Panda Dash can all stay on the first one, and Clawfire can go to M2, like so, and like so, and that'll be good. Clash of Claws will do the exact same thing. M2 and M2. Oops. Click the buttons in the right order. There you go. M2, and Bamboo Tycoon can also go to the M2 team. That'll spread out their load just a little bit and hopefully give us better marketing overall. That's basically it. Just need to unpause the game, buy some stocks, and jump straight back in to the time lapse. Okay, so this is, I don't know if it's a bug or what is happening, but whenever we finish a product with our project management, it's not automatically being added to our existing products, which is super annoying. But if you need to figure that out, you just click on any of your project managements. Any of the ones that aren't currently assigned will show up here. So Clash of Claws and Bamboo Tycoon are currently not assigned. So we'll go to each of those and say that is an existing product, and Bamboo Tycoon, I believe was the other one, can be assigned there, and that will keep them ordering the distribution so that we don't get messages saying our product has run out of stock. We'll need to keep an eye on that. I don't know if that's a bug or if that is intended. If it's intended, I think that's silly, and hopefully the devs can fix that. But that is what it is. So we'll jump straight back in. All right. Bamboo Labs is officially going into development. It is currently unassigned because we made the team after we made the thing, but that is fine. We'll go ahead and assign that to all 3 of our OS teams, and they should absolutely start smashing this out. We should, in theory, be done well before November 2004. We will wait until November 2004 just because that is when we've agreed to release it. But that should mean that we have a nice amount of bugs already fixed before that goes out. So that is fantastic. Yeah, everything else is running relatively smoothly. For some reason, support for Bamboo Odyssey 5 and Clawfire jumped out of their project managements. We'll fix that as soon as they release the next update. I don't know what's going on with the project management at this point, but it seems to be working just fine. The updates are in there, so we don't have to worry too much about that. But we're going to jump straight back into the time lapse because I think they're going to finish this very, very quickly, and we'll go from there. Oh no, that's not good. Gus Watts has retired. He's the best designer we've ever had. Thankfully, we did get the creativity of Andrea Gibson narrowed down to 80%, which is fantastic. I'm not sure what team she's on, but that is fine. We also had Clawfire 2 released today, so we'll go ahead and close that one and replace it with these 2. And that will be absolutely fine. Looks like we've got only great quality on Clawfire 2, which is interesting. If we have a look at our info here, it says we need 5 designers, 6 programmers, and 3 artists. We currently have 15 people on that team, so they should be able to handle that absolutely no problem at all. But we might have to consider bumping these numbers up a little. So my PC just restarted itself randomly, and I don't know what we lost. So let's jump in and find out. Autosave 10, please don't be too long ago. I've forgotten what I was just talking about. Clawfire stuff, support, okay, that's fine. I don't remember what we were currently doing. It looks like we also have a bunch of support tasks here that are showing. Get rid of those, and that'll be fine. Bamboo Labs is in the alpha stage, not the beta stage. I said beta a couple times before. I apologize for that. Clawfire 2 has not released yet. It's releasing today. Okay, that's not too bad. We didn't lose too much. We were just talking about how we might need to hire another Clawfire team. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it might be. Thankfully, OBS and Audition saved my recordings, and I didn't lose anything there, so that's good. We'll jump into our releases, sort by the latest. Clash of Claws, we want to see details for that. I won't bother bringing up the second one because we're about to release something else, and that'll be fine. That was scary. I didn't like that one bit, but we're back. And we're still doing stuff. Clawfire should be releasing today, right? Clawfire 2, June of 2001. Yeah, that's today. Where is it? There it is. And Gus Watts retired. That is correct. That is unfortunate. All right, let's have a look. Great and inspiring. That is fine. Good enough for now. But we will need to replace Gus Watts, which is unfortunate. He was on the Dash team, so we'll go ahead and check on the Dash team real quick, just to make sure that I don't have auto hiring on, and I do not. So we'll go ahead and replace them. Actually, the way that we might replace them is a little bit different. This team currently is not at max capacity, so we're going to open up the project management for Panda Dash, jump into our info tab and see what it has to say. It's recommending 6 programmers and 1 artist. It's not telling me how many designers it should have. That's a little bit unfortunate, but we'll jump into HR management anyway. We currently have 5 programmers, 3 designers, and 1 artist. 1 artist is probably absolutely fine for this team. We could bump it up a little bit if we wanted to. I'm not going to bother. Well, yeah, we'll go for 2 artists. And then we'll say, I don't know, 8 and 5. That should, in theory, add up to 15. And that will be the team for that. Specializations for this team will be in system, audio, and 2D. And our traits will be no cup holders and no forgetful with high salaries. And that should be good to go. They should automatically replace them. The only thing we need to worry about is who is going to be our new lead designer, which we cannot choose yet because we are currently in the alpha stage. So we're going to have to leave that as it is. But I would like to take a look at the Clawfire team as well. So we currently have 16 people on that team, which means we're going to need to make a new team if we want to have outstanding quality, which is fine. We'll just name them Clawfire 2. Go ahead and do that. We'll jump into our HR management in here, and I believe we're just going to use the exact same as we had before. We should probably have at least 1 artist, so we'll do the exact same actually. We'll do 8, 5, and 2. That should be good. Specializations in Clawfire, I imagine, are going to be system, 2D, and audio as well. Traits should be no cup holder, no forgetful. This is actually going to be a problem. We'll need to make this 9, 5, and 1, just because we already have 9 programmers hired for this team. We also have 6 designers, so that's actually going to be 9 and 6 and 0. Yeah, we're going to leave it there for now. And then for the Clawfire 2 team, we'll change them up a little bit, and we'll go, don't change role selection. Education level should be 3. Education amount should be 1. And here we'll do the 9, 5, and 2. And that should be good to go. We'll set them as system, 2D, and audio, and no cup holder, no forgetful, and high salaries. Did I choose high salaries for Clawfire 1? Let me just double check. No, I did not. Yeah, I'm sure you guys were yelling at me in the comments. So that'll be fine. We just need to make sure we hire a leader for this. So that'll be a lead programmer. This will be any team is fine. HR is definitely important. Automation's not going to matter for the Clawfire 2 team, so we don't have to worry about that. I'll throw socialization above multitasking. They don't have to be night owls, and they should have high salaries. Begin looking, change this over to Clawfire 2. We only have 2 options. That is absolutely fine. Minnie Gibson, you are officially hired as our team lead there. Jump into Clawfire 2, make sure you are set to be the leader. Don't do service, you can do everything else if you don't have anything else to do. We'll jump in and set them up with this. So they are going to shrink back down a little bit and move them around so that they fit in nicely. 10 p.m. is a little bit late, so I'm going to cut these guys back a little bit to accommodate for that. We'll start them at 5. Looks like no one's really starting at 5, so that should be fine. Throw them in there like so. Close both of these. Grab their vacations. Make sure they can vacation whenever they like. Turn on our labels. Find our Clawfire team. Select both those rooms and add Clawfire 2 to those rooms. And that should be good to go. All right. I think we're good to continue this running. We'll let this come to our beta phase, and then we'll probably end the episode there. A quick review of our operating system says that we currently have 9.8 out of 10, so we are not going to worry about iterating on that. That is more than acceptable for me. Anything over 9.5 is honestly absolutely fine, and you don't have to worry about it too much. So we'll let them go straight into the beta phase as soon as they finish all of the code, which they're absolutely smashing out. 0 out of 48 assigned employees are unqualified, so everyone is working on that. Bamboo Tycoon 3 has just come out. We are releasing products left, right, and center over here. Outstanding and inspiring, which is absolutely what we want to see. We just need to make sure that we go into our Bamboo Tycoon project management and say, hey, that should be there. For some reason, it doesn't add it automatically, but it is what it is. So we're going to continue on, get this into the beta stage. I actually probably don't need to skip ahead for that. We can just ramble for a little bit as they get this last percentage of code out the door, because we do have a 24/7 team for this. Go ahead and promote that. We need to make sure we go ahead and set a print job for this. So Bamboo Labs is going to print a maximum of, I don't know, let's go for 1 million copies. That seems reasonable for an operating system. And then we'll make sure to set this up on a automation so that we can continue ordering products for that. We do have some more print jobs that we can accept as well. And everything is looking good. We basically now need to just wait until November 2004 before we can move on too much further. This is getting a ton of followers relatively quickly. We might even end up releasing this early and just saying, hey, sorry guys, I know you did say we wanted to wait until November 2004 to release this, but you know, we're kind of done with it, so just release it when it's ready. We'll probably wait until the bug fixes slow down a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and release this early. These followers could potentially start to drop as well. Once we see that happening, that's probably a better window to release in. I don't believe that these contracts worry too much about early releases. They're more concerned about late releases. So we'll keep an eye on that. Okay, we just had a person retire on the Odyssey team, and I've realized my mistake. This team currently, well, it had 8, 6, and 2, which adds up to 16. We only have 15 chairs, so we're going to drop down the designers to 5 and hope that that doesn't matter. Unfortunately, we did rehire someone in place of Brittany Allen before that happened, but it is what it is. It'll fix itself when the next person retires, I hope. M2 and M3 are still overlapping a little bit. They really shouldn't be. If we have a look here, M2 and M3 are completely separate from each other, and they shouldn't have that problem. This notification should disappear very, very quickly, and it won't be an issue. Datapand LLC has offered Basil Davidson a lucrative employment offer. Do we want to counter for $832,000? I don't know, do we? Yeah, he's inspiring. He's got a golden handshake. Ugh. Yeah, go on then. We have the money. And we'll accept the rest of these. All right. We are pretty much good to go. I'm going to leave this episode here as we continue to fix bugs for Bamboo Labs. And in the next episode, I want to come back and I want to start working on an update team, just so that these guys don't have as much on their plate and they can focus on developing the products that they need to develop. So with that being said, make sure to leave a like if you did like the video, leave a comment for the sake of engagement, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. But until next time, happy building, happy developing. Bye guys.